Yes. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. It is us, the RecRoom Sports Crew. Somehow, some way, I really don't understand where these buttons are coming from, but I just gotta take advantage of it. What's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy King Witcher. I was the one draft pick, and we are live right now. As we get into February the 3rd, 2026. We are the week of the Super Bowl. Finally, Super Bowl weekend is here. We will be talking about the Super Bowl and the game at hand, but there's so much going on in the world of basketball. We will definitely get into that. It's crazy to say that even as football is going out the door, basketball is picking up. So we got to definitely get into a little bit of that. Shout out to everybody who participates with us on In the Hoop. In the Hoop is jumping off on Fridays. We definitely got the whole gang in the building. One time for my guy Evan. Evan, what it do? Danny, what's going on?
Danny, what's
We
up,
see you.
buddy?
We appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in, Danny, already. So guys, man, let's go ahead and get into it. So just for the warm-up purposes, right? We know the Super Bowl is somewhat of a revamped what's a good word for it? When they just like they did 21 Jump Street again. You know what I mean? That with this is a redo of something
Reboot.
right, a reboot. There's sometimes you got to get a little something old, something new. And right now we got like another version of what we've seen already. Thank you, Danny, for stopping in. Make sure you give us a share. We really would appreciate that. So this Super Bowl, of course, is Super Bowl 60. We will be celebrating the Patriots and the Seahawks again. But as you can see, back in 2015, there was a Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl, and this is 11 years ago now. So it's just crazy. So it's like Super Bowl 49. I think if I did the Roman numerals correctly, because that messes a lot of people up, the Roman numerals. Um, yeah, because the one before the X means subtract 10, 1 from 10. I had to remember that from class. The whole point is 11 years ago, where were we, gentlemen? What were we doing when we were watching the Patriots look like they were coming to the dynasty was coming to an end right before our very eyes? Tom Brady just coming back from being, MVP season, not having Randy Moss on the team at the time. It was a lot to kind of take in, but there still was the core that was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That's all you needed at that time to win anything and win convincingly. I think we got another one of our gentlemen in the building. I'm gonna wait for him to give me the head nod. Give me the head nod if you're ready to jump in. Okay, he's drinking water. We're gonna let him warm up. But anyway, so right now, gentlemen, Scott, let's start with you because age before youth. What were you doing 11 years ago, man? When Super Bowl 49 was about to jump off, where were you? What was going through your mind as you saw the Seahawks march down the field?
The nurses were allowing me to enter the home in 2015. By the way, no, I was hosting a Super Bowl party. It's strange as it sounds. The Patriots came in cycles. It was Tom Brady and Antoine Smith. They just reinvented themselves over and over again. I was hosting the Super Bowl party. That's what I was doing, and sitting in my living room watching it and figuring they're going to give it to Marshawn Lynch as many times as they need to punch it in. And whatever reason, Pete Carroll decided he wanted to throw the ball at the 1 yard line instead of giving it to beast mode, because he was getting in. I don't think there was any question about it. He was getting in. But I think the Patriots thought that Marshawn Lynch was going to be the guy to get the ball, and they put that defense in. That Malcolm Butler intercepted the ball. Sal Palantonio has it in his book. The day before the game. Sal Pal has it in his book. They put that defense, Patriots put that defense in the day before the game. And Malcolm Butler on 7 attempts had 0 interceptions out of 7.
Wow.
And he intercepted the ball in the Super Bowl. So that's the most important one. So, yeah, I was hosting a Super Bowl party at my house, and we were going nuts when the Patriots intercepted that ball because game is over. So
yeah, that was pretty much it once it happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I see our guy in the background. I believe he's ready. Shout out to, of course, one of our favorite people, AP Allen Perales. Allen, what to do? Welcome to the show.
Oh, everybody have a good
Really?
night.
Yeah,
So
mute
really,
button.
Scott, you had just got admitted into the nursing home that year?
It's been 11 glorious years, Alan. What can I tell you?
11 glorious years. That's wild. So yeah, so Bobby G, man, West Coasting it 11 years ago. Were you in Vegas at the time or were you in Cleveland?
I was in Vegas. No, I was at my best friend's house, and he had some of his folks over, a few Patriots fans, and we were watching the game, and yeah, I was in the minority. I'm still in the minority of people who actually understand the play call. I know everybody wants, but when you go back and you think of the situation at one timeout, so it's like if they run the ball, then you're committing to passing the next two plays. Like they had to keep all options up. So from a coaching standpoint, I understand. Would I run the ball? Probably. No,
Probably.
probably, but I understand. But yeah, I was here in Vegas. We had a fun time. To the point, his my best friend's brother-in-law, who was the biggest Patriots fan, he missed the entire thing. He couldn't watch. He was like outside, and he didn't come back in until he heard all the commotion going on, see what's going on, and then we told him Butler intercepted the pass. But
Crazy.
yeah, man, it's fun times. It was a great game, and hopefully we get the same thing this Sunday.
For sure, for sure. Alan, man, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. We know you had some other obligations, so we're excited to have you in the building, man. Alan, dog, 11 years ago, you were in middle school, maybe?
No,
High school?
I'm older. I'm older than you think. Wait, come on now.
Okay. I'm just
Were
messing
you
with
four,
you.
4 years old then? Were you
I was
4 years
literally,
old?
I was literally three years out of high school at that point.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I was still back in fast food back in those days. I was about to transition to my first year at Walmart that year. So,
Wait, you know what Alan was saying back then?
had I known, had I known.
Cowboys had teams like this. I wish the Cowboys had teams like this.
Yeah. Tony Romo was around 11 years ago, I would think, right? Yeah.
Well, what was it? 2015, right? That was the Super Bowl year was 2015 is what we're talking about. 'Cause
Yes.
Yeah, 2015. That's right.
yeah, man, back in the end.
Yeah.
That was
Would've been the
I'm not
14th
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of a dark period in my life. There's a lot of bad that went on that year, but it became a learning experience, and it's gotten to me to where I am now. So I don't even know if I even watched the game, to be honest, because I think I was working that night, because this was still in the middle of me working overnight shifts from Kingdom Come. I literally did it from the time I was still a sophomore / junior in high school, from 2010 all the way up till 2020. So yeah, 10 years straight working overnight. So I don't think I actually got to see the game, but yeah, after watching it back, it's like the play itself is gonna live in infamy forever. But nobody remembers the Jermaine Kearse catch.
Ooh.
Two plays.
No, I remember.
People will remember it, but they won't remember it for the right reasons. It essentially should be the play that people remember this Super Bowl from, but because of the Malcolm Butler interception, we remember that play instead. And then also keep in mind the Patriots still had to run a play at the 1 yard line, so it was still a danger even after the interception. So a lot of factors had to go into that game.
Yeah, I feel like you took my thunder because I was gonna bring that up, man. But in the end, it was more like a what 11 years ago? Let me see.
You tell me. You tell me.
So I had to figure it out. Like 11 years ago.
You were in the delivery room.
Oh,
no, that
okay.
was 11 years ago. I ain't had no kids yet. I was childless, boy. I was out. You understand me? So 11 years ago, I was promoting a club called Club 21. Big shouts out to everybody from the area who knows way back in the day, Orangeburg. Club 21 used to be that spot, man. And
I was gonna say, I think I remember why I didn't watch that Super Bowl. It was because I was at a funeral that day. So
ooh, yeah,
that would be the because my grandma passed away on the 2nd that year, 2nd of February. So that was probably why I don't remember it, is because there was a lot of emotional days during that time frame. So, but yeah, I mean, again, it's still an instant classic. Even that some people, when you argue what is the greatest Super Bowl of all time, people will either point to this one or the Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl. Usually are the first two that come to mind, or at least in this day and age, those are the two Super Bowl games that they point to.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your abuela, man. That is wild. But yeah, you didn't get a chance to watch the Super Bowl because of that. But what I was about to say was we were promoting the after party at Club 21, and I believe my friend who is not here at the moment. Big shouts out to JJ. What to do? You know what Club 21? You know what we had planned. You know what's going on. And what ended up happening was I think I stalled to watch like the last second because I was a promoter, so I was gonna be there. It was like 50 cent wings or something stupid like that. You know the little club 50 cent wings, crab legs, yeah, it was all of that. And I was ready to go. But I was like, yo, I gotta watch this because if Marshawn Lynch scores a touchdown, they will be igniting cigars inside of Club 21 for the rest of the night because there was a lot of people who were huge Marshawn Lynch fans. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it didn't happen, man. But the Malcolm Butler interception took place, and where I was at was I was with my partners, and my friend Vito is a huge Patriots fan. Shout out to Vito Sauce Man, what it do? He went crazy. He called like 9 people. He started screaming, "Give me my money!" You know, because before then he was quiet because he thought he was going to lose. But one of the long lasting memories for me was that camera angle of Tom Brady next to Julian Edelman with his head down. But Julian Edelman was walking around the sideline going, you know, and we later come to find out like that this stuff isn't over. You know, the entire game, Julian Edelman was going, this ain't over. He was firing Tom Brady up going, you're too old to come back from this one. This isn't the one where you come back. You're too old. So, and one of the biggest things I remember from that season in general, LeGarrette Blount as a running back was you know, very much King Henry like. You know what I'm saying? For running backs, he was a huge, and I was mad because at the time I was a Steelers fan. So at the beginning of the year, when it was in preseason, if LeGarrette Blount and Le'Veon Bell didn't get caught smoking in the car on the way to a preseason game, they wouldn't have cut him. Okay, I remember that specifically. LeGarrette Blount and Le'Veon Bell riding in the car behind AB. AB made it to the stadium. Le'Veon Bell and LeGarrette Blount got pulled over. LeGarrette Blount got cut, and LeGarrette Blount went to the Patriots. I remember that specifically. But the biggest thing, of course, was the sideline view of Julian Edelman selling out on Tom Brady and saying, you can't do this. This is not the game you're going to come back. You're too old. And they kept showing him because Julian Edelman was fiery. I remember that for a tiny man, Julian Edelman was out there screaming and yelling, and they made their way back. And had it not been for Malcolm Butler, the game would have been leagues apart. So big shouts out to Julian Edelman for hyping up, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Big shouts out, of course, to Malcolm Butler. But then, of course, on the other side, man, the Legion of Boom, man, we'll never really get that again, but we'll talk more about the Seattle Seahawks, dark side defense. Man, Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, KJ Wright. It was a lot of names on that defense that stand out, but for sure we will remember the Legion of Boom and how they did not get a chance to preserve that that Super Bowl. But man,
I remember that year vividly because I think we were the only team that year that actually went into Seattle and won. I think that Dallas team that had DeMarco Murray you still had Des Bryant. You had the toe tap catch by Terrence Williams, which led to the go-ahead touchdown.
No, sir. Seattle came into Dallas.
2014.
Seattle came into it was in Dallas.
2014 regular season. 2014 regular season. Yeah, playoffs. Yeah, they beat us up in the playoffs for sure. But I'm talking about that regular season. I know,
hey guys,
and then we lost to Green Bay, I think, in the playoff game. I think.
Hey guys, speaking of the regular season, we might as well go ahead and get the regular show going. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button. Let's do it.
This is RecRoom Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yes, sir. That's right, man. It's your boy K Witt, your mama's #1 draft pick, and we are live. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. February the 3rd, the beginning of Black History Month. As you can see, I am blacked out today. We are going to get into some of our favorite topics. We got the NFL pinnacle right here going on with not only the Super Bowl, but as well as the Pro Bowl happening simultaneously. We got NFL trades to talk, and then we got the gang in the building, man. Got to give a shout out to my homies. Thanks for showing up today. The old man who says he can, numbers always in his hand. Shout out to my guy, Uncle Scott. Uncle Scott, what it do?
Not much. Getting nervous about the Super Bowl, so looking forward to it though. It's a welcome bonus for us New England fans. So
yeah, of course, right? Because you 1 year of Vrabel. Who would have knew?
I knew the schedule was bad. I get that, but who expected them to be here today where they are? Unbelievable stuff.
Right. And then, of course, y'all know who this guy is. He's on just about every other program when it comes to Rec Room and Let's Talk Sports original AP Rookie of the Year, our guy, Alan Parents. Alan, what it do, bro?
3-time Rookie of the Year. It's an honor and a privilege for sure. I love it. Hey, man. Having a great day. I don't know what a Super Bowl is. Unfortunately, I haven't got to celebrate that. I was way too young to actually. That's back when I was still in diapers, Danny. By the way, was when the last time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl. But yeah, feeling good, doing good. Isn't it great to be alive on a Tuesday night or what?
Okay, CM. CM Perales. Okay.
And then, of course, we got my guy in the building. Las Vegas is home, but Cleveland is his own. Big shouts out to our guy, Audible Podcast. Bobby G, what it do?
Welcome to Beardland.
Already?
Welcome to Beardland.
Already, man. Okay. So we got a lot to talk about when we get into these NBA trades, and I know Bobby's going to have a lot to say, man. Of course, y'all know me, man. It's your boy K Witt, your mama's #1 draft pick. We are live and in full effect, and I have a lot to say today because there's a lot going on this week, and I need you guys, all of you who are watching right now, give me a share. We got so much information to get into this week, and this ain't it. No, ladies and gentlemen, we got more. Friday, Saturday, Thursday. Y'all don't know, so I'm gonna go ahead and put you on point. But right, once again, man, it's the RecRoom Sports crew. We do appreciate you for joining us today. Now
it was a slow day in sports, wasn't it? There was nothing going on today, was it?
It's a wild. The wild thing is, it really didn't happen until about 3:00 today, Uncle Scott. So
didn't Memphis and Utah get started with that trade, and then it just exploded?
I think it just happened right around that, and then all of a sudden it was like a huge explosion. of stuff. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do it, man. Trade deadline smoke signals. Now, of course, who's really on the phone? Like whose phone is really going off? Whose phone is actually blowing smoke signals when it comes to these NBA GMs? What's going on in the NBA? We got to start it off right now because the trade deadline is on the horizon. That's right on Thursday, February the 5th. I think, if I'm not mistaken, at 1 o'clock. No trades can be processed after that. But we are on alert here at Rec Room because out of nowhere, in the middle of my work day, I look down at my phone and come to find out who is going where for what? For a bag of Skittles and three first round picks. We got to get into it. So first of all, dog, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the first one that I saw that caught my eye. And I really think this is a sign that times are changing in Memphis. So if you don't know and you've been living under a rock, the Utah Jazz are getting Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies in an eight player trade, man. I don't know where these 8 people come from, but magically they all being moved. I hope they got their bags packed and I hope they're ready to go.
Is it one of these things? We'll give you this guy. Yeah, we'll give you this guy too. Yeah, we'll throw him in as well. Yeah, you can have him too. And then
right.
We want him.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Throw in this guy Paralysis too. We'll take him.
Right.
And Bobby G too, and we'll take him and trade done. That's it.
And look, and if I tell you these names, you'll be like, yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Because Memphis is getting Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, and George Niang. But Utah, in return, I'm sorry, and the Grizzlies are also receiving not 1, not 2, but
let the hate flow through you.
3 future first-round picks. I don't know where these picks are coming from. I thought the only people that had first-round picks, they were living in Oklahoma, okay? All of the first-round picks belong to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's what I thought. But for some odd reason, Utah has 3 of them. So, Utah is sending 3 picks to Memphis. 4, okay, get this now. Utah is getting Jared Jackson Jr., John Conshaw, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. Now, if you're not familiar with the Memphis Grizzlies situation, this is one that all of us, I'm pretty sure, have been keeping an eye on, especially since, the Ja Morant saga has been going in and out. You know what I'm saying? Things were happening, things weren't happening. Ja's healthy, Ja's not healthy. And we were wondering who or what could be the catalyst to make the boat move. But come to find out, they was going to do it without him. I feel like in reality, they were plotting on doing this with or without a cooperating Ja Morant. And this, to me, seals the deal. 3 first-round picks. Somewhere in there, you can say, hey, we can go find us another job in 2-3 years. We can get something. Even if the 3 picks are trade bait to later use to get another noteworthy player to bring to Memphis, that is a lot of picks. So, first off, gentlemen, at an eyeballs glance, and I'll start with Scott because I know he was keeping an eye on this. This is a win-win situation, or is there a loser?
I don't think there's a loser in the deal. I think Jaren Jackson was destined to go someplace based on what I've read the last week or 10 days. I thought Ja Morant would be the first one to go. I'm not surprised that Jaren Jackson's the first one to go, but I always thought Ja would be the first one to go because there's been smoke about him since opening week that he was going to get traded from Memphis to wherever. This definitely signals that Memphis will move Morant. It's just a question of where. Minnesota's been really active in calls with everybody, with Giannis, probably with Morant, with any big name that's out there, Harden, any big name that's out there. Minnesota's been the team to watch. So maybe Utah 1, Maybe Utah won it slightly, but those 3 first-round draft picks kind of boggling to me. What did they trade the 2038 first-round draft pick to get him? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know the rule is you can't do consecutive first rounders, so they
Exactly.
got to be spread out.
exactly. So, but Utah was a surprise to me as to where he was going. To be honest with you, because Utah's not. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not on the precipice of making the playoffs. But maybe the play-in, not the playoffs. So I don't get this on Utah's end in terms of what you're doing. But again, they're taking a shot at it in the West. So
Yeah, to me,
Yeah.
I'm right there in the boat with you as well, man. Was that Alan?
16 and 35, Scott. 16 and 35 is
yeah,
what the
they're
Jazz
not.
are.
Yeah, they're not. They're not in the position to go to the playoffs.
He said 16 and 35.
16 and 35. They're only 4 games back of being the worst team in the West, and maybe even the entire NBA. So,
But correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Don't every trade deadline we see one of these teams like Utah make a deal like this, and everybody's like, why did they go get Jaren Jackson? Why did they go get the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year? Maybe it's to build for the future. Maybe they have a plan for next year and the year after and down the line, which is what I think, because Keontae George has been phenomenal this year. He's been great. So maybe they're going to build around Jackson and Keontae George and a couple of their other pieces and try to go after it for next year. So there might be another trade coming with Utah. There might be one more trade coming with Utah. We don't know.
There might be another one coming with Utah, man. Bobby G, man, you on the outside looking in as an East Coaster. Well, residentially you are on the West Coast, but
I'm always inside.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Residentially you are East Coaster, but you currently reside in Vegas. When you see a team like Utah, not too much of a player's destination, man. When you see them make moves like this, like where does your mind go?
No, I love it, and I'm surprised Scott didn't see it. I mean, you're absolutely right. This is not a trade for this season; it's a trade for the future. Like they're now in position to compete with Spurs, with Thunder. I mean, you're looking at going forward. Your starting lineup is going to be Keontae George, like you say, who's coming into his own. They'll probably draft or sign a shooting guard in free agency. Then you got Laurie Marketing probably slide down to the 3, Jaren Jackson at 4, and you got Walker Kessler coming back at 5. Ace Bailey is your 6th man. That is a solid 6-man rotation right there. So yeah, this team's absolutely building for the future. They're basically the Spurs 2 years ago. So right pre-Wemby. They had a lot of talent. You're like, they just need one player to kind of bring it all together. I think Jaren Jackson does that. When you get Walker back, they're locking down the post. Now, he's DPOY. Walker Kessler is one of the best rebounders in the league, especially on the offensive side. And he's not a slouch on the offensive end. He can get a bucket when he needs to. Ace is going to be able to command, continue. He's grown a lot this season as well. He's going to command that second unit. Just need Keontae to become a playmaker and facilitator. We know he can get a bucket, but as he learns to when and how to get these guys involved, Utah could be a major player in the Western Conference the next 3 to 5 seasons.
Yeah, man, most definitely.
And if you follow me on Twitter, I kind of hinted that JJ could have been a player. I put something up insisting that the Cavs could go after him.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a couple weeks ago. In the episode, there's no way they move off JJ. And sometimes I know stuff. I don't always say it, but I hint at things that I hear. So yeah, I knew JJ could be had. Yeah, he didn't want to be around for a rebuild. So,
shoot, I can definitely understand why, especially in the city in Memphis. Now, of course, in Allen, man, you are somewhat of a connoisseur of trades and first round picks being moved around as you are an Oklahoma City basketball fan. Your take on this huge leap of faith for Utah, is this a move for now or is it a move for the future?
I mean, I think it's a move for the future for both sides because you're getting as far as Minnesota, Utah's concerned, you're getting a player you can build around right now. You can build for the future and build a good squad around him. And as for Memphis, you get picks that you can use for the future as well. You can again rebuild, I guess you could say. That's okay though. One of these guys is going to turn out to be an All-Pro point guard at some point. I'm betting bottom dollar on it at some point. But a wise man once said, "If it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't work, you look like a fool." So for now, I think you could say it's a win-win because it's two teams trying to build for their future, trying to figure out where they are moving forward as far as the standard point in the Western Conference in the NBA. But there's also a chance that it could backfire for both sides as well. So I don't know. Right now it looks good. You're building for the future. You got something you can improve on. We'll have to wait. We'll have to visit this in maybe like 5 years or something. If Jaren Jackson doesn't turn out what Utah thinks he can be there, if he ends up moving on somewhere else or what have you. We'll have to properly grade this trade and here in about a couple of years. But right now, it's a building block for the future for both sides.
And don't forget now, the bottom half of the playoff West, like Golden State and the Lakers a little bit, are starting to slide back here. They're starting to, Golden State's long in the tooth. LeBron's probably going to be out of LA after this year. So that those playoff teams are starting to slide back. And now it's a question of who in that bottom rung of the West is going to take advantage of this and move up. And Utah put themselves in position with this trade to be the team that moves up into the play-in/playoff in the West.
Hey man, and I think you guys pretty much we're all in the consensus right now. As I say, this move is for the future. Right now, just the other night, really, I was looking at what was it? The Memphis Grizzlies and the Timberwolves played a back-to-back, and of course, the Timberwolves won prior to at the sound of 131 to 114. But then, of course, they got back. It's hard to beat a team twice in the NBA. But as I looked at what was going on, something jumped out at me. And it's a name that you've heard before, and it's a name that I've heard before, especially in times of, downtime for John Morant and Jared Jackson Jr. But G.G. Jackson looked good. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember G.G. Jackson? Last year, when G.G. Jackson came into the games during John Morant's time out, remember he's a big, forward/guard, 6'9", out of Carolina, a second round pick. So of course you don't have to pay him that much. And right now, even though he's averaging about 9 points, last night was one of those games where I was like, wait a minute, he's doing how many points he got? Because you got to watch it on Peacock, and Peacock's got the thing where you can check the scoreboard and see the box score on the side of the TV. So I really had to take a moment and pay attention. And even though it was literally only 13 points, right? It was 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. But for me, that 18 points was I want to say three threes from the corner, and about. Because if I'm looking at it right now, he shot 25% from 3. Somewhere in there, I was like, "Yo, that is who you need to build around." The big guard, the big power forward /3 guy who 3 and D, who can shoot and pass and dribble and create for everybody else on the floor. I was like, "Yeah, that's the future." John Morant over there was on the sideline, not playing in a back-to-back. And then they kept showing him, and I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy they're gonna move you out for, bro." They're gonna get Jared Jackson Jr., who was also who played in last night's game, but they're gonna start relying more on G.G. Jackson as I see how this moves. But on the other side, yeah, Bobby said it, man. Utah, as you look at like the lineup of Keontae George, Ace Bailey in the future, Jaron Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, old school Kevin Love still out there, Laurie Marketing. This is this Nurkic is somewhere in the wings. I think he's hurt right now, bruh. This is we were talking about that starting lineup for Houston at the beginning of the season, right? Where Houston ran out, five guys who were 6'8" and above on their starting lineup. Utah will be another one when I really see it happening where they'll try and run out that five guys, everybody 6'8" and better, and can handle the ball or can shoot and can rebound. So I really I like this move for Utah's future. Right now with that record, it's not really gonna do too much, but let's see how they mesh after the All-Star break, which will be coming up very shortly. So let's go ahead and
here's their starting lineup. If everybody was healthy today, here's what their starting lineup would be. You would have Keontae George at point, Cody Williams, the shooting guard, of course, Ace Bailey, who's their first round pick this year, Laurie Markkinen, and then Jaron Jackson would round out their starting five.
Laurie would start at the 3. JJ played the 4. Kessler would start at the 5. Laurie Markkinen just played small forward. We started that trend when he was in Cleveland. We used to start him, Mobley, and Allen all together.
I remember that.
Markkinen is one of those guys where in his home country he's handling the rock. He's got the ball in his hand.
He was super effective at the small forward.
So yeah, let's take a peek at another one while we got some time, guys. Hey man, this one involves our homie Bobby G, man. So Bobby G, we got to talk about it. We might as well go ahead and get into it. This has got to be will be one of the more blockbuster trades once they get everything finalized. I believe there's some more semantics to be done and possible picks to be added, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, we're looking at Darius Garland being swapped player for player for James Harden from the Clippers.
Yeah.
Okay, and a 2026 second round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. When just thinking about Harden's longevity in the league, how much he's done, the scoring prowess, him in the Rockets, him in the OKC uniform, somehow, some way, even at this age, a diminished James Harden still is better than half of the league, and I would think is worth 2 second round picks. One, and then at the same time, as we flip the script, Darius Garland, who has been, up and down with injuries, and for some reason, just hasn't been able to mesh well. That 2 small guard backcourt of him and Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland wasn't the best combination. And I'm just gonna let the guy who knows most about this talk about it. So Bobby G, man, your eyes are on Cleveland and what just happened.
Yeah, it's like I said, the rumor kind of leaked last night, and got everybody's attention. The big thing is James Harden's 10 years older than Darius, right? So you figured, like, why would you trade for the old guy? But I mean, the fact is, the best ability is availability. Darius Garland's never only played over 70 games once in his career. He's injured right now. He came into the season injured. He had an injured right toe during the season. Injured a toe on his left foot. Like, his durability is just such a concern. And when you watch this in the playoffs last season, like, you could just literally see Donovan Mitchell wearing down because he had to carry so much of the load. Like, and you saw the way Indiana played last year. The same with Oklahoma City. They pressure the ball. They put pressure on the guards. There's only so much Donovan Mitchell could do, and we didn't have the experience behind him on the bench to do anything about it, basically. But you flash forward, you go to this now. He has a legitimate second running mate in that backcourt. Like you mentioned, we got away from the small backcourt. Now we have, at least one guy in the backcourt with size, right? Harden being 6'5" and maybe 260 pounds. Who knows on blast? That's neither here nor there. But he has a legit running mate, somebody who can also handle the ball, and somebody who, at a minimum, is going to guarantee you buckets, right? That's the thing. You never know which Darius you're going to get. Are we going to get 17-point Darius? Are we going to get 26-point Darius? Are we going to get Darius who's capable of scoring 50 like he's done? You just don't know. At least with James Harden, Donovan it shouldn't be a question. It should be, hey, if I'm putting in 26, I know James can give me at least 22 plus. Not only that, I don't have to be the primary playmaker. There's another guy who can create offense for the others. Most big men he's played with have had uh, the best runs of their career. James Harden is probably one of the best pick and roll players in the NBA. So that should go a long way to help Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, assuming Jared Allen survives tomorrow's deadline. Because the Cavs are still in discussions. There's a lot of things still on the table, and a lot of things that seem like rumors. I'm here to verify they are legitimate. They are legitimately trying to make a run at Giannis. That is real. It's not a joke. It's not. They're trying. They are legitimately talking about potentially picking up Anthony Davis. I don't agree with that one, but they're legitimately trying to make another big move. So I'm excited about it. And for all the only what do you wear defense? Well, Darius was a liability on defense, so there's no loss there. Uh, Playoff woes, not clutch, can't produce in big. Well, guess what? Donovan Mitchell leads the NBA not only in second half scoring but fourth quarter scoring. So, just like I stated earlier at the beginning of the show, James Harden can get us through from quarter 1, 2, and 3. In the fourth quarter, Donovan, here you go, bring us home. We can run it like that, and I think we're right back in this thing. Like I said, the season got off to a super rocky start. Nobody was playing exactly how they did last season. Over the last 2 weeks, major improvements. Guys playing a lot better. Hell, it was Jared Allen the other night, 40 and 17 against Portland. Sorry, Jay. Um, but yeah, we're seeing them. We start to see them pick up. And oh yeah, by the way, we get uh, Struce back. Should get him back within the next couple of weeks. So we're getting healthy. We're building depth. Not to mention the earlier trade we may haven't even mentioned that with Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. And now we got a lockdown defender who can guard the Jalen Browns, the Jalen Brunsons,
He's uncoverable.
Right.
He's uncoverable, Jalen Brown. Can't cover him.
And we have a legit backup point guard, Schroeder, who can come in. So yeah, man, I like the way things are stacking up, and I want to see. We're not finished, so at minimum, I think you'll see Alonzo Ball salary dump come. That's probably the least we'll do, but something else is coming.
I appreciate that. Your coverage on that, Bobby G. Of course, you the man with the plan in the land right now. So it all worked out.
Beautiful.
Let's go ahead and get to another trade. I think I want to cover before we run out of time to talk about basketball. And this one was another one that I think it was subtle, very subtle, but at the same time, if you look at the tea leaves, this signals the return of a star to a championship level team. And we're gonna go to Scott with this one, man. Scott, you know what we're talking about, man. You see green just like I see green. And right about now, let's go ahead and get into it. Nikola Vucevic from Chicago and a second round pick are going to Boston in exchange for Anthony Simons. That's right, baby Dame is going to Chicago in exchange for another second round pick. ESPN and the writers there, they gave this trade a C plus. But as you see it, Scott, we got a big man. We had Quay who's an unknown guy, but plays, of course, for his native country. We got a big man, shoot, rebound, pass, a little bit of everything. How you feel about Vucevic going to Boston?
I like it because their front court, Luka Gaza and Kata, sorry, they're not Vucevic. I knew something was going to happen when I heard the rumor that the Celtics called the Clippers on Zubac, and they didn't, and the Clippers just hung the phone up. So I knew where the Celtics were going. They called on him. They called on Sabonis in Sacramento to try to get him, and then went in on Vucevic. Anthony Simons I thought he was going to get traded right when he got traded from Portland in the Drew Holiday trade. I thought he was going to get moved someplace else, and he didn't. He's a great shooter, great off the bench guy for the Celtics, but the Celtics have a bunch of great shooters. They did, Anthony Simons, yeah, he'd come off the bench, be like the Vinnie Johnson in the day for the Celtics, but you needed a big guy, and you needed to seal up that interior defense. And I think the Celtics got a really good one in Vucevic. I think he'll come in and he'll just anoint himself into the paint, and he could play 30, 35 minutes every night. And that's what the Celtics were looking for. Some guy to come in, play 30, 35 minutes a night, score 10, 12 points a game, pull down double-digit rebounds. It's a subtle move, but it's a really good move. I'd give it a B. I wouldn't give it a C+. I think it's based on need for the Celtics right now. And again, this is what said. This signals Jason Tatum is probably a month, maybe 6 weeks away from coming back. And who knew the Celtics were going to be the number 2, 3 seed in the East? I mean, I thought they were a 5 or 6 seed. But they're right now. They're in the 2, 3. They're in the division race with the Knicks, with the Raptors. And again, I don't want to see Cleveland until the Eastern Conference Finals if both teams get that far. Because I think what the Harden deal does is it makes Cleveland a lethal team in the East. Better than the Pistons, I think, it come playoff time. Better than the Knicks. And I think the one thing that Harden does for the Cavs is he facilitates. He finds the right guy in the right spot. And that's key coming to the playoff time. You got to find the right matchup. So I think Boston did themselves a really solid on this. But I don't know if they're done yet. I think they might add another subtle piece in this. So I like what they did. I think they need a big guy. I think Brad Stevens is one of the best executives in the NBA, and he knows what he needs, and he goes out and gets him. He got him. He got a big guy. That's what I wanted. So,
yeah, man. Thanks, Scott. And you mentioned it. And for me, it's parting is just sweet sorrow when you see a player like Anthony Simons come from Portland, where I don't want to say he was underutilized, but I think he was overextended for what he was worth. Because in Portland they were rebuilding, they were doing the youth thing, and I think they were overextended him. But in Boston, he was right in. Like you said, Vinnie Johnson, Jamal Crawford.
Yep.
We can name Monte Ellis after a while. Come in, handle the ball, not necessarily need an offensive set ran for him. He can create his own shot, and went out there and was doing it, and was given, in the essence of when Jaylen Brown, who is on an MVP caliber season, top 3 MVP candidates right as of right now. When Jaylen Brown was out, Anthony Simons was in, and he was still giving us buckets. So I want to say that to all of the people who are Anthony Simons fans, keep supporting him. Like I really see him. He's going to get somewhere, and they're going to need him to be that. And it's possibly exactly that in Chicago. Chicago, I think, is going to make a move as well. I heard that
Kobe White's got to be the guy, possibly.
Yeah. I heard that. I heard Kobe White is on the move, possibly. That they would love to have somebody like Anthony Simons come in at the point guard /2 position and get buckets. Because that's pretty much what they need. Because of course, the several sagas ago, Chicago tried to get 2 guys who are now on the same team in Sacramento and have that work so they could get buckets. But now they're going to do it this way, and hopefully it'll work. So I'm interested to see what that is. So yeah, fellas, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna keep it moving because the clock is rolling. So let's go ahead and get into some football, man. So once again, everybody tuning in right now, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is the RecRoom Sports Podcast. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. We got big things going on this week. Don't forget, lock it in this Saturday. We will be giving you your futures for the Super Bowl. We got bets. We got what color is the Gatorade. Who is going to be saying we're going to Disney World. We got all of that good stuff. Okay. Thank you, Scott, for joining us tonight. I know you said you're free, so I know you're going to be busy for the rest of the week. Alan, you are my guy, always there on the spot. And of course, we can't forget about the Audible Sports Podcast where life and sports meet culture. That will be going on Thursday nights. We're doing Audible Reacts Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
No, not reaction. Thursday night post game.
Thursday night post game. Yeah.
Special guests. We got K Pierce making an appearance. We got Bo, making an appearance. So yeah, it should be a fun show.
It's an all-star week, man. We got a little bit of everybody, a little bit of everywhere, man, and that's what we do. So as I move forward, guys, I wanna take a minute to think about. Y'all know about the butterfly effect, right? For butterflies in Zimbabwe, the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about the Super Bowl butterfly effect in the NFL. So if butterfly flaps his wings in Dallas, right? The wind blows in Everbank Stadium down here in Jacksonville. That's kind of the butterfly effect in the NFL. So of course, everybody knows right now, the Seattle Seahawks will be facing the New England Patriots in Santa Clara, California, February 5th, 2026. Well, we all know the nuances of what's going on, right? Bobby, Alan, Scott, we're all aware, right? So Drake May, Mike Vrabel coming together for the first time in a year. That's wild, right? Last year, very bad season for New England. Not like any other that they've dealt with. Rob Mayo put in a position that he wasn't necessarily ready to handle. Now we get the right coach. Now look at us winning the NFL. That we're in the NFL, we're in the Super Bowl, and Mike Vrabel leaves Tennessee, and look at us now. That's the butterfly effect. Okay. Once again, somehow, some way, let's talk about Seattle. We got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold leaves one organization, wins 14 games, is talked about throughout the league as having issues, seeing ghosts, all of that, whatever, but somehow, some way pulls off winning 14 games for another organization, and then now is in the Super Bowl. But that was something that took place just because of these two things that I think slipped through the cracks, which is my analysis for the butterfly effect. So give me a minute, guys. Let me paint this picture. So January 26, 2002, the Vikings hired general manager Kwesi Odofu-Mensah to be their general manager, replacing Rick Spielman. Okay, now he served in that role for 4 seasons. But who is Kwesi Odofu-Mensah? Right? Where does he come from? Who is this man? And for some odd reason, I felt like for a week, they were not even for a week. For the last 3 or 4 days, they were just showing the most off-guard pictures of this man. So I had to double check to do my research to see what's going on. Kwesi Odofu-Mensah is a smart guy, a genius. Went to school, has a background in sales, has a background in marketing, was vice president and executive director of commodities and the trader for Credit Suisse. For some odd reason, I feel as though that means he was doing things in the stock market, right? Okay. Got into the NFL in 2013, started with the 49ers, and was head of their football research and development department. This just is a smart way of saying he was good with numbers. The analytics department. This is where he starts to slide in and use his brain to get him to the positions which he will fill in later. 2020, he joins the Cleveland Browns. 22, he's made the general manager of the Vikings. But what happens when he joins the Vikings in 22? Oh, well, of course, the Vikings aren't doing all that great. It's not. Okay, they had Kirk Cousins. They went 13-4 with Kirk, but in 23, it went downhill. Kirk Cousins played 8 games. Josh Dobbs started 4 games. Nick Mullins started 3 games. Jared Hill started 2. And then somehow, magically, the Vikings are arrived. But what happens after that? Sam Darnold comes into town, saves the day, goes ahead and wins 14 games. TJ Hawkinson, everybody knows him, makes TJ Hawkinson look like an all-world tight end. The offense is running smoothly. Everything is going fine. But somehow, some way, my good friend, Kwesi Odofu-Mensah, decided that after winning 14 games, that's not enough. What? I I don't really understand how in the end you get the guy in the gym, in the stadium that is winning the games, and somehow you decide to let him go. But then, of course, out of nowhere, he goes to another team and wins them 14 games and gets them to the Super Bowl. But you know why? Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah thought that this was a great idea. You want to know why? Because somehow, some way, we predicted based on analytic numbers, all right, and this is a fact, that their first round pick quarterback out of Michigan, coming off of an injury, would be a better replacement due to the fact of his attributes to running and passing and off center throws would be a better attributed to what would be considered the offense of the Minnesota Vikings. Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, my good friend, I wish you nothing but the best, but they weren't thinking about that when you supposedly were asking for if I'm not mistaken, maternity leave. You a man, you didn't have the baby, but you want to spend time off. But this is football. People who play football are attributing their lives to football, are saying football is a 24/7, 365-day job. Ask Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick probably ain't never seen none of his kids be born. You think? I'm pretty sure he never made it. Bill Belichick probably never made it to the emergency room. I mean, not to the emergency room, but to the birthing room. Probably never. But he was there. He does a good job. I'm sure he's a good parent. I'm sure he has great sayings on, hey, let's run the 3-4. We want to cover two shell. Are we going to drop the safety in? That's what Bill Belichick was doing. But somebody like Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, what the outside eyes are attributing to him losing his job, right on January 30th, he just missed making it to Black History Month. They fired him. They let him go on his day off. They are attributing to him not having enough of the football knowledge, which obviously through the resume that I just stated, he should have known somewhere in his mind that these numbers that you're talking about are not contributing to it.
So there's a story going around on Kwesi. They were going to get rid of him after the draft. But I guess, from what I understand, he went to scouts and he went to anybody in an organization that was not the owner and not the head coach and not the defensive coordinator and said to them, you run any decision through me. Do not run it through Kevin O'Connell. You do not run it through the owner. You run it through me. And the owner wants the decisions run through Kevin O'Connell for whatever reason. So he was gone after the draft, but because of what Kwesi did, he was gone January 30th. And the number two reason was it wasn't Sam Darnold. It was Sam Darnold a little bit. There was a second starting quarterback in the NFL that the Vikings had that they let go, Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Jones went to them and said, if you promise me the starting position, I will sign with you guys like that and be your starting quarterback in Minnesota. But Kwesi said, no, we're not promising you the starting position. So Daniel Jones took the Colts offer. So he let two starting quarterbacks go in the NFL. Not only Donald, but Daniel Jones. Those are the reasons why I think he is gone from Minnesota.
And I'm completely and 100% in agreement with you. For me, I really feel like football guys look at someone with the intelligence level of Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah who does not have a football background as very egg-headish and very nerdish. Like, hey, look, you don't know what you're talking about. The numbers may have spoken to J.J. McCarthy being a better quarterback over time. But right now, right then and there, they just won 14 games. Keep what you got. You know what I'm saying? What is it? A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. You really had two birds in the hand, bro. Two birds in the hand. But you let both of them go.
And even your starting wide receiver, who was your stud, came out and said, we might have had a better year with Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones.
And that didn't help not one damn thing at all. I ain't gonna lie to you. And somehow, some way, just when you thought you was gonna make it to February,
gotcha, bitch.
They fired him. Let him
And
go.
just think too, the winner of that division won 11 games. You imagine how many games the Vikings would have won with Sam Darnold under center this year?
With consistently good, consistent running offense. That's all they would have had. With Daniel Jones, I think it would have been consistent. And which is the point. If Daniel Jones would have been less money, and if they would have had him for this year, because everybody knows, we all saw at the beginning of this season, Daniel Jones was MVP caliber up until maybe 2 or 3 games where it looked like the offense got a little mired down. We already he was there 3-4 games. We was calling him Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? He had already gotten a nickname. So that is what I think the point is. The powers that be, the football minds in the area, and everybody else is going, if you only would have realized what we had here. And don't get me wrong, I am everybody knows me. I am an advocate for quarterback development. As long as the quarterback and the the quarterback and the quarterback coach or the quarterback head coach or whomever is going to be like tied to them is in a good space. I'm not saying that it's not in a good space right now, but JJ McCarthy went through a lot to come back and have this type of season. And I'm hoping that he will be physically and mentally prepared to take on the challenge next season.
Now let me kick some truth to you, gentlemen. First off, there's not a GM in the NFL.
You tell me. You tell me.
Oh, my bad.
Play that zesty clip one more time. One more time. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, there's not a GM in the NFL who wouldn't have done the exact same thing. Look no further than down in Atlanta.
Right.
You had an unproven rookie and a veteran can win. Who got that starting job? Oh, yeah, that's right. The young, unproven rookie. So they can blame Quizzy all they want. And second, like, Sam Darnold is on, let me channel my inner LeBron James. This is not his first team, not second, not third. It ain't like Sam Darnold was a world. He had 1 year. 1 year. Yeah, I know. And then there's this thing. Draft picks are more than assets; they're money. We have a top 10 pick invested in this kid. We have 5 years to see if he can play. We lost 1 year because he was hurt. Now we have 4 years. We are on the clock to see if this dude can play. We got to get him on the field. We offered Sam Darnold what we thought was fair compensation. He thought he could get more. He went and got more. Cool. Andrew Jones. Again, you've already failed in this league. You've proven nothing with us. I don't owe you anything. I'm not guaranteeing you in. You're going to come in and you're going to compete with this first-round pick for the job. Oh, you don't do that? I get it. Okay. Good luck to you. It just so happened that they went on to do what they did. Second off, you know what JJ McCarthy's record was as the starter?
9-8.
No, 6-4.
6-4. Sorry, the team was 9-8.
Which means every other quarterback on that roster was 3-4. You might have made the playoffs if JJ McCarthy had been healthy. So let's not poo-poo on him, real quick. You telling me JJ couldn't have squeezed out 2 more wins to get to that 11-win mark? Sure, he could have.
Yeah,
it's like everybody just because of the success that the Seahawks are having, and because of the success the Colts are having or had, until Daniel Jones went down. It's easy to do that, but let's look at the examples of teams actually doing that. Raiders fans thought everything was going to be real sweet, right? Oh,
Geno Smith was coming up.
And he's bringing his quarterback with him.
Perfect.
Not so fast. Let's see how. I guarantee you, if JJ goes on, I'm not even going to say super. JJ goes on to be a top 15 quarterback, and the Seahawks don't finish the job this weekend. Let's just Seahawks lose the Super Bowl 3 seasons from now. Nobody will remember this if the Minnesota Vikings are still a playoff team and JJ's the leader of that ship. It just looks bad right now because of what's going on. It's that what do they call it? Recency bias. We've all been there. So I'll say, man, just chill. I mean, Quizzy, he just happened to be the fall guy. That's all.
Alan,
And let's not also forget either the NFC North is still really wide open because we're not, you're not sure if the Bears can repeat the same success they had this year. We don't know typically what the Packers are going to be, how healthy Mike is going to be going into next season, how that defense will look, and the problems that they've had offensively going into the postseason. Obviously, the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, is he can stay healthy? And then, what the hell happened to Detroit at the end of the year? That division's still winnable, even with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. So it's not a total loss, like you guys said. If Sam Darnold does win a Super Bowl, then there's going to be a lot of media negativity about the move made. But if they don't get the job done, I agree with Bobby. I think nobody's going to remember this in 3 years.
I will say this, that the Vikings have the best defensive coordinator in football, in Brian Flores. Okay?
They paid him like it because he got $6 million.
Right. There are different ways in the NFL to win games. One is by defense. Two is by running the ball. If the Vikings go out and get a really good running back, J.J. McCarthy you don't have to throw for 325 yards every game and 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, and win in the NFL. You can win 16-9 games like the Vikings showed. There was 6 games they didn't allow a passing touchdown in a row. 6 games. Mm-hmm. Brian Flores is a world-class defensive coordinator in the NFL. He's the top defensive mind in the NFL right now. And I don't think it's even close, to be honest with you. So,
and to your point, Scott, how did they win the national championship in Michigan? They had a really good defense, and you had two really good running backs in Blake Corum and Dylan Edwards. So
exactly.
And let's keep it a buck, Scott. You just said it. Defense, you can win in this. You mean to tell me J.J. McCarthy didn't play on a similar level to C.J. Stroud this season?
Absolutely, he absolutely did. Absolutely did.
And where were the Texans in the playoffs? And he's a rookie. He's a rookie who doesn't know nothing. He's going to take this experience. He'll grow.
I mean, yeah, essentially a rookie because he missed his first year. So
yeah.
And Kevin O'Connell's a great play caller too. He's a great play caller. And they went 9-8 this year. And they had Max Brosmer starting for 3 or 4 games. Come on, really? I mean,
and that's the thing I don't like is that we try to write off young quarterbacks after the first year. I mean, look at what happened with Bryce Young. He was benched for a couple games, came back, took it as a learning experience, finished that year off pretty strong, got Carolina to a postseason this year, albeit with an 8-9 record, but it was a learning experience, and I think it's something Carolina can improve on. CJ's kind of the same way. I know this postseason didn't go the way that he probably had hoped, but again, it's a learning experience. You get some more guys around him. I think Woody Marks really came on at the end of the year, and that's going to help him a lot. I mean, we saw it with Caleb this year with the right play, got him the right play caller. He's got a lot of weapons around him. Don't throw these guys under the bus after 1 year. It took Hall of Famers like Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman to like 2 or 3 years to finally get it together.
Put Troy Aikman.
Yes, I did. I don't care.
Peyton Manning. How dare you?
And you know what? I'll put John Elway in that conversation too because the Broncos were terrible the first couple of years he was there.
Who finished in last place in that division this year?
Lions.
Enough said.
Technically.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
here's the thing too. If not for the damn tie, the Vikings would have been in the postseason.
I was just about to say that tie got y'all messed up. Hey,
at the Packers and Cowboys, not tied. We'd be talking about J.J. McCarthy in the postseason instead of sitting at home. There you go.
That tie turned everything into a whole nother situation. Hey, big shout out.
It doesn't matter what situation it is. It always comes back to that damn tie.
Wait, did you announce a new show on RecRoom Sports coming? Tie Talk?
Oh man. Tie Talk. Speaking of tie, what's going on with my cousin, man? Brian Miller. Brian, what it do, man? The best saxophone in the land. That's what I'm talking about, man. And my cousin Ty. She over there doing her thing right now, probably on the live. She can't even look at her own cousin doing show. But shout out to y'all for checking me out on Instagram and everybody else on the Instagram world right now. We appreciate you. I see you. Big shouts out to you. We got the hey, look.
Let the hate flow through you.
There's something else we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, because right about now we got to do something that we haven't done in a while, and I am somehow, some way excited to tell you that we have to find a way to do an uphill battle. I don't know how we're going to necessarily do it. I mean, we got teams, we got things we could talk about. Like, is there a way that we could? I really wish I had the music, but I don't know why I don't have it. So since I don't have it, let's just go up and put up a picture. In this week's uphill battle, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is, man. It's the teams that were in the playoffs that were one game away, two games away from being into the Super Bowl, but they got stuck climbing that mountain where they could almost read. Look at that. These jerseys, the numbers and names don't make sense, but the colors do. That's what Chat GPT does when you ask him to do something for you. But anyway, as we get into it, right now, there's a moment in which I feel there are like two teams, maybe even three, that when of course, the season ends. When the season ends, there's only one real winner, and that's the winner of the Super Bowl. I don't care who you are. Everything else is moral victory. But even in a moral victory, which one of these teams from the playoff losses can we look at and say, hey, 2025, 26 season was a success, and we have a lot to look forward to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and throw it to my guy, Uncle Scott. Scott, the teams that lost in the playoffs. 49ers, the Texans, the Bills, even the Jags. Shout out to the Jaguars. Which one of these teams stand out to you and can be closer to the top of the mountain, even though they didn't win, and can say, hey, let's take a moral victory on into the off season?
I can't believe I'm going to say this team. I'll say the Jaguars. Yeah.
I like that.
I think Liam Cohen was a great hire for them. They didn't lose Grant Udinsky, who's their offensive coordinator in name. They didn't really lose anybody off the coaching staff. And they traded for Jacoby Myers, and they're getting Travis Hunter back next year. And Travis Etienne, again, looked like the 2 year ago Travis Etienne that we all knew and loved. I think the Jaguars could be the team. Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers, that group there. And then you have a running game. If Trevor Lawrence takes another step forward under Liam Cohen, there's nothing but up. There's nothing but green arrow pointed up for the Jaguars. So I'll say the Jaguars. I think they could be the team that could give a lot of AFC teams problems next year. So
yeah, that's a really good choice, and especially around these parts, man. In Duval County, they would love to hear you say that, and we're going to get the opportunity to talk about how Duval County can hear you one day, Scott. Let's get to you on, Alan. You out here in the streets. Your team necessarily didn't make the playoffs, but you got a chance to watch a lot of playoff football this season. Who do you think is at the top of the list to say, hey, this season was a success, and take it on into the offseason?
I kind of talked about this team earlier, and this is kind of a curveball I'm throwing here. I'm going to say Chicago. I'm going to say the Bears. Look at what they did this year. They have the weapons now. I think they add another piece or two on that offensive line. I think it's going to help Caleb a lot. Second year under Ben Johnson's going to be fantastic for them. They'll probably add a few more defensive pieces. And then you take a look at who they have on their schedule. The NFC South, you could potentially sweep that division. Obviously you play your own division twice. And again, it's wide open at this point. You really only have two tough road games you have, and that's going to Seattle and to Buffalo. You've got the Patriots and the Eagles at home. This could be the schedule, the way things play out for Chicago, if they make the right moves in the offseason. I think you could see the Bears not only get back to where they were this year, maybe even get to the NFC Championship game. Who knows?
Now, see, that's the thing. I like that answer. The Bears really, and it would to see Caleb go out there and do it, and y'all know what play I'm talking about. I'm talking about off center, wrong foot, back corner of the end zone. I thought that was like one of, if there was a throw of the year, which they do have, awards, that was it. That was the throw of the year. Bobby G, when we thinking about the offseason, who gets to take home a real moral victory in this week's uphill battle?
Well, while I appreciate the answers from my cohorts here, you're both wrong, and here's why. The obvious choice is the Denver Broncos. Uh, One reason is because I'm sure that they feel that they should actually be in this game. They didn't lose this game because of player performance. They lost this game because of coaching.
That's right.
Take the points, Sean. Take the points. Kick the field goal, and we could be having a different conversation. But when you look at it, they were the number one seed this season. They lost one home game all season. Well, I mean, technically two if you count the postseason, but regular season they lost one home game. And next year, their schedule, while difficult, they will play the Patriots again. They will play the Bills again. They will play the Seahawks. They will play the Rams. But guess what? All of those games are at Denver. Mm-hmm. Their toughest road game. Excuse me, except for the they got Buffalo, Jacksonville, Seattle, and the Rams coming to Mile High. The toughest road game they're going to have is going to Foxborough. Mm-hmm. So, with that defense and with the healthy Bo Nix coming back, they will probably beat. Scott's a bet man. I'm willing to bet, regardless of what happens Sunday, even if the Patriots win, I'm pretty sure the Broncos will probably be the betting favorite to come out of the AFC as soon as the Super Bowl is over. Like, that defense is that talented. We know Bo Nix has shown he can play well enough to get them there. And remember, your division, you got the Raiders. I ain't even got to say nothing. You're probably going to be Mahomes-less, right? So you ain't got to worry about the Chiefs. All you got to do is get by the Chargers, who every year just seem to be they're the model of inconsistency, right? You never know on any given Sunday which Chargers team you're going to get, even though it looks like Mike McDaniel could be the OC. Still got to see what that looks like, right? Because we know what kind of offense he likes to run, but we also know that Jim Harbaugh really likes the power running game. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think the fall off for AFC teams is going to be a little bit more likely than NFC teams. I'm not mad at Allen picking the Bears, but I don't see the three-headed monster in the NFC West going anywhere. Like, the Bears are still going to have to contend with the Rams, Seahawks, and a healthy 49ers, right? In the AFC, I could easily see Jacksonville falling off. I could easily see the Colts not be. I could easily see, even though the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, like, we know the season was boosted because you can only play who you play, right?
That's right.
The schedule was user friendly. Next year's schedule ain't gonna be so user friendly. So we can see them not be the Patriots of this season. So I just think the Broncos could potentially have an easier road of the teams that got eliminated.
But by the way, the Broncos are the 7th favorite in the AFC right now.
Right now.
For next year, right now. Yeah. Things will change, but that's where they are right now.
Yeah. So check this out, man. I really feel like everybody had like all of the answers that I came up with prior to like really talking about it. Somebody somewhere I was almost just about to say the 49ers, but the 49ers were just decimated by injury. Yeah. By the time they got to the playoffs, it was just a wrap for what they're used to doing and how they're used to performing defensively. It sucks. And George Kittle, great guy, great player on and off the field, top 5 tight end in the league right now.
Nice.
They're gonna have to, we're gonna have to see what he looks like, coming into the league next season, especially recovering from an injury like that. I thought one of the funniest stories was, George Kittle went back there, found out about his his injury, and magically one of the arena attendants was bringing a bottle of tequila into the locker room, and they let him do it. You know what I'm saying? Magically, somebody's walking with a whole bottle of tequila into the locker room, and the only person back there is the trainer, George Kittle's wife, and George Kittle. So, tequila goes a long way. But my actual pick for this question, for this uphill battle, as I sit here and I think,
Let the hate flow through you.
yes, that's right. It's gonna be the Green Bay Packers, dog. I'm gonna tell y'all in real life, I really feel like this is one of those just wait till they get it together moments. Um, uh, yeah, Michael Parsons. Shout out to Brian. Brian, you said it. Michael Parsons was the fix. What was not the fix in Green Bay. He was simply an added piece. I believe that. I don't think that he was solely brought in to kind of start and be the end all be all. But of course, he was the biggest star of the biggest acquisition. Coming in 12 and a half sacks, 83 pressures the year before. Somehow, some way, bringing him in made a lot of sense. But Xavier McKinney, Javon Bullard, Evan Williams, that defense is solid, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know, but this is one of the ideas of having a safety trio when you play in top down, nobody get behind you, but then you bring one of these boys into the box to do some tackling or to do some tight end covering. Yeah, we could do that with those guys. But then of course, offensively, I really feel like Christian Watson right at the right time, close to the end of the season, showed us who he really was after he returned from his ACL tear. 35 catches, 611 yards, 6 touchdowns in just 10 games, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was a really big deal. And then Josh Jacobs, once again, proves that somehow, some way, he's a serviceable guy. After he hasn't been in Minnesota, another Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah mistake, 929 yards, 13 touchdowns on 234 carries. That is a great percentage if you are a running back. But then let's just kind of sum it all up by saying Michael Parsons on defense coming back from his ACL tear, the safety trio still being who they are, and McKinney, Bullard, and Williams, Watson, and let's just be real. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. Hello, Matt LaFleur seems to be a good coach. It's hard to get a good quarterback and a good coach on the same page in this type of NFL, especially when teams are specifying and getting quarterbacks who don't move, who are not stable and do not have the ability to run off of their pivot so that they are not accurate. Who's accurate when they run? Jordan Love. Who's accurate when they're on the move? Jordan Love. Who can do off-center throws really well and scramble outside of the pocket and create plays with their legs? Y'all, have you guessed it? Jordan freaking Love. So I like the idea that next season, with another year under his belt, with Matt LaFleur, who's going to feel more comfortable because they gave him an extension, with Michael Parsons, who's going to be hyping him up. I think Green Bay is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Of course, they got to contend with Chicago because, they're going to have another year under their belts as well. But when I think about stability, I think about teams just like Green Bay. And this is why I'm going to choose them as my king of the hill for this week's uphill battle. Shout out to Jordan Love. Shout out to Matt LaFleur. The three-headed monsters of safeties. It's a lot to look forward to this offseason for Green Bay. And I can't wait to see what develops, man. It's going to be something special next season. For real. I'm not just saying that because y'all know me. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. We didn't even get to talk about me and us hiring a coach. Well, I'm not even gonna get into that right now. Alan's not even here, but I would love to hear Alan's take on Mike McCarthy. But we're gonna keep it going, man. Once again, remember everybody, you are watching the RecRoom Sports Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Tell a friend because this isn't the only show we do, people. We got Uncle Scott Cove down here. Uncle Scott, you do your thing. You got Lock It In on the weekend. Tell people what you do, man. What are we tuning in when we watch Lock It In?
So, especially for the NFL playoffs, we've been talking about the playoff games for that day or that weekend. Get into that some of the props that go on, and then we basically talk about Alan's got a long shot of the program, long shot of the day, he picks. We do fade or follow in terms of what people are betting, and then each of us give our 5 best picks for that weekend, whether it be as Alan picked, against Oklahoma every time, and it worked out well for him, or it's any player prop like Trevion Henderson over 55 rushing yards in the game. So that's basically what we do, and we bring it into a bow, and then college basketball is going to be starting for us betting wise as soon as the NFL is over. So looking forward to it. Lock It In's a really good program. Sometimes we have a great week, sometimes we don't have such a great week. So as Alan can attest, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good. So
sometimes you have a 4-1 day, sometimes you have a 1-4 day.
Yep. So lock it in. I don't know if it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday this week. It probably might be Sunday morning. Probably it's the day of the Super Bowl. I don't know if Alan knows, but that's on the weekend. So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, man. We appreciate you. And Alan, man, you are on a little bit of everything. One of my favorite programs to catch when I'm just out here surfing the net, looking through Facebook, looking at X, which of course I'm talking about Twitter, not the other kind of X. And I'm just trying to find something to watch where it's entertaining. One of my favorite shows is Alan and Sam and On the Mat. If you're into wrestling, this is the show for you. Alan, do me a favor, tell the people what you do on the Mat with our guy, Mr. First Down, one of our favorite Tennessee Titans fans.
Well, I mean, we normally talk about everything going on in the world of professional wrestling. Of course, we're in the middle of WrestleMania season right now. Obviously, with how both of our schedules are going, we haven't been able to do the show at all. But never say never. We may get it back going here one day. But yeah, love talking wrestling, especially with Sam. We both. I'll just say we kind of agreed that the Royal Rumble was a little this past weekend. He's not a fan of the Tribal Chief, so anytime you throw the one up, he throws a fit. But I'm excited for WrestleMania already, and we only have one match that's been confirmed, so I'm excited for that. Also, doing a live watch along for Super Bowl 60 on Sunday on RecRoom. By the way, just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Yes, that is true. We will be doing a watch along. I will be popping in and giving you guys my ingredients for my pork chops and my special potato salad. Okay, I got ingredients. Okay, and
no leafy greens. No leafy greens.
We're juicing though. We're juicing 3 meals a week, ladies and gentlemen. Pick one, pick 3 meals, have some juice instead of a meal, and watch your body shine, literally, because it's coming through your pores. It's really good for you. Anyway, Bobby G, man.
Alan will be off at halftime because Bad Bunny is his number one.
Bad Bunny, yeah, we got to talk about Bad Bunny and the commercials, man. And then of course, Bobby G, man, Audible Sports Podcast, where life and sports meet culture. You got so many variations of the show that you do. Shout out to Wild Card Mar. Shout out to everything else that you do, including working with Miss April. Big shouts out to her. Tell us what you got going on this week, bro.
Yeah. We got the Thursday post game show. We're gonna keep that running through the off season, so we'll be talking football every Thursday. That's gonna be at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And then Friday, the original Audible Sports Podcast with Sports Meets Life and Culture. We just shooting the just messing around. Talking a little bit of everything, life, culture, whatever flows. Last weekend we had a little fun. We did it was the top 10 fictional athletes of all time. So we had some fun with that. This week will be our Super Bowl show. Matter of fact, on Thursday night, we have a couple of guests. We got a clip from K. Pierce stop by. So we got a clip from him and Bo talks football. Talk with him. Me and him got a beef to settle, as a matter of fact. So looking forward to that. And then Friday, we'll be doing wrapping up trade deadline and previewing the big game on Sunday. So and then of course, Mondays and Wednesdays, you can catch me and the homie Big Mike from the Man Cave, Game Time 216, talking all Cleveland sports. So, man, check us out. A lot going on.
That Bo guy, he's can't stand it. That Seahawks fan, Bo. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
shout
Bo's-
out to Bo and
Bo's
shout
a
out to
great
Big
guy.
Mike. Yeah,
Bo's
shout
a
out to Big Mike and Bo for doing their thing and holding it down. I'm gonna get a chance to talk to Bo. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give y'all some information about that as well.
I would make a comment, Scott, but my lawyer told me I have to be nice.
That's your lawyer. Oh man. Well, look, guys, we're coming closer to the end of the show, but this is one of those times where I'm going to challenge you. Everybody, take a moment, put on the Swami hat, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all see I got on my turban. Salam alaikum to everybody. Turkey Al Sheikh, we're gonna be coming to Dubai real soon. Bobby G, get the passport ready. We will be going to the United Arab Emirates. We're gonna watch us a UFC fight. It's coming, I promise you. It's in the works. We just waiting for Turkey Al Sheikh to turn on the show and see how much of a production that he needs to employ us to do some of his.
We got somebody else coming with us, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got one more.
We got Jay. We got Jay on the way with Jay. His name is John Cena. Yes, dog.
You tell me.
That's crazy. So look, guys, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna challenge everybody right now to take a moment, breathe with me, ladies and gentlemen, breathe and think, prognosticate. That's the word I was supposed to be using. We are going to prognosticate, right? As another epic Super Bowl ending is underway. The gang will use their telepathic skills to see which phase of the game will play a part in the W at Super Bowl 60. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if we're right, we're right. Sometimes we're wrong. But if we are right, I want you to make sure you come back and you talk to us about it next week. So, gang, 3 phases of the game: offense, special teams, defense. Pick a team, pick a phase, tell us what is going to happen. And we're going to start with Uncle Scott because I think he's got a good question.
Great. Marcus Jones returns a punt for a touchdown in the fourth quarter with like a minute and a half left to win the game for the Patriots.
What do you think about score wise? We're thinking under 50 points.
21-17. I think it's an under game. These defenses are really too good. I can't see either team getting to 30 or even 27. So
I really do feel you on that one. Yeah, the defenses are too good. Maybe not necessarily low scoring, but just enough scoring to keep you entertained. I like that one.
Yeah.
Alan, as you begin to use your powers of the mind,
don't give me hope, Alan.
Right.
We talked about this hope. Do not give me hope.
As you begin to use your powers of the mind, Alan, what you got? What's going to happen? What do you see happening in Super Bowl 60?
See, Scott, I was going to say the same exact thing you just said. Only instead of Marcus Jones, it's going to be Rashid Shaheed and the Seahawks winning.
Yep.
So I got it 2017 Seahawks.
2017 Seahawks. Okay. All right. Bobby G, we got a good one. We got a good prediction. What you got?
Oh yeah. First shout out to Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Says it's gonna be close. All right. I agree. It is gonna be close, and I'm gonna have Christian Gonzalez seal this thing with a game playing catch and interception. Patriots win 27-23.
Oh, 27-23.
Oh, okay. 27-23.
Wait a minute.
And then me.
Was that the same score for 47?
Hey,
it was close. It was not close, but it wasn't.
Close, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I was saying game sealing interception. That seems familiar.
Right. Yeah. Game sealing interception.
28-24 last Super Bowl was the score.
28-24. Okay. So for me, I had 2 in mind, which would have been, one of them was going to involve Raheem Shaheed. I would think that for seriously special team when the Seahawks got Raheem Shaheed, y'all saw exactly what was starting to take place. It was only a matter of time before he could score a touchdown. So if Raheem Shaheed let's say Patriots win the toss, get the ball first, we flip fields in the third quarter, Raheem Shaheed comes out of the third quarter smoking, okay? Because I really feel like this is going to be one. The last time a field of play was influenced so much by special teams was Chicago back in the day with Devin Hester. I really feel like this is going to be one of those types of moments where Raheem Shaheed has an opportunity to make the field advantage turn in the Seahawks' favor. But if I'm going to pick with one and I'm going to stand on it, I'm going to stand on this right here, man. Sam Darnold, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Sam Darnold, the Red Rifle, the Red Raider, Mr. Ginger himself, Ginger N, as Marshawn Lynch referred to him, Ginger Cuz, as Marshawn Lynch referred to him on multiple occasions. Okay. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold putting the team on his shoulders. Jackson Smith and Jigba for 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold going for 24 of 28, no more than 30 passes, right? I'm talking smoking 24-28, right about there, because it's a lot of you got to remember, there's a lot of short game in this that they take for long runs. A lot of short game that they take for long runs. We're going 24-28, and somehow, some way, he gets 2 touchdowns. We're going to make it 3 in total, 2 to Jackson Smith and Jigba, with the score of, get this, 27-20, with the Seahawks taking the W. And I'm running with that one, because this will be the first instance, or one of the first instances, where they, I feel like the NFL needs stories. You know what I mean? Storylines. This is the one where the storyline will be, hey kids, look at Sam Darnold. He didn't quit. Yeah, he got drafted by the Jets. Guess what happened? He went to Carolina. He didn't quit, kids. He went to the 49ers. He didn't quit when he went to the 49ers. And he gets to Minnesota. He does really well. He gets cut. He still didn't quit. The NFL loves storylines, and it's always one. It's always, sometimes you just got to dig for it. But the layer on the top right now is Sam Darnold going for it, going big right now on Sunday after being cut, moved, traded, forgotten about. I even think they thought bad about him when he was at USC one time. You know what I'm saying? But he was good at USC, and they wanted to put the other guy in. Then I think they put him in, and they put in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has been passed around and forgotten about so many times that if he wins this Super Bowl, we got to go ahead and write it in the annals of history.
Let the heat flow through you.
My opinion, if you see one punt return in this game, you've seen one too many, according by the coaches. I think you're going to see a ton of punts out of bounds in this game.
Oh yeah, field position and special teams will be. Somebody's going to realize, like, so you're standing out there. You think you're going to get a punt return or a touchdown?
Not a chance. It's going out of bounds. Going out of bounds. There's no chance.
Heck no, we kicking the ball out of bounds, bro. We're not even playing that type of game.
I'm throwing my resignation is coming. Play off Brandon's comment. He's gonna have to, because I feel Zach Charbonnet's absence is gonna be felt in this game. It was felt in the NFC Championship game. His George Halani, his replacement, did nothing. Matter of fact, he almost made a couple plays to really cost you guys the game. So yeah, K9 is going to have a much better performance than he did against the Rams.
Keep an eye on Robert Spillane for the Patriots. If he's not playing, that could be a big blow to their defense. So
yeah, I can agree with you. And then of course, big shouts out to my guy on Instagram right now, Freeport Donnie. Freeport, what it do? I see you, my boy, out in the gym. That boy just not ran a 5K, 6K. That boy ran somewhere. I ain't gonna lie. It was cold too. He was running. Shout out to Freeport Donnie out here doing his thing, man. We appreciate you checking in on the Instagram live right now. Riley Spillane. Yeah,
he's injured, Brandon. Yeah. He's not out yet, but he's injured.
Yeah, we will be seeing if he makes the injury report.
Yeah,
he's questionable. But man, guys, I was so glad to have everybody in the building. Look at that. We made it under 2 hours. This was great. I'm so excited to see what happens throughout the rest of the week when it comes to the NBA and the trade deadline. One of the things that we did not mention, one of the trades we did not mention, I'm just going to just throw it to it really quickly because I just was looking at it. It caught my attention. Okay, wow, this is it. Jaden Ivey, Mike Conley to the Bulls, right? Kevin Herter, Dario Saric to the Pistons. Somehow, in a first round swap protected from Minnesota. I don't think y'all understand. Jaden Ivey. Remember we were talking about guards going to Chicago, y'all. This is another one. Jaden Ivey in that backcourt with Cade Cunningham was sharing too much time. But if Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley, who is a consummate professional, nobody talks about how Mike Conley has been around since the beginning of time. When they be like, "Hey, Mike Conley, when did you get drafted?" He'd be like 19. That's how long he been in the league. But anyway, Jaden Ivey, Mike Conley going to Chicago, I think is a big deal. Kevin Herter, Dario Saric, two guys that the Pistons will be able to use out there on that wing and perimeter because they're both 3-and-D guys. And then of course we already talked about what was going on in the other big trades. I really feel like this is a huge deal going to be going on for the Cavs, Schroeder, and of course we already talked about what's going on with Memphis. It's really up to the powers that be to tell Ja Morant when he's got to go. And I don't even think they're gonna tell Ja Morant. I think they're gonna tell T Morant, man. That's it. Goodbye. That's it. No more T Morant. But it is what it is. Fellas, we got any final messages before we get up out of here?
That trade that you just mentioned, that could be the Giannis precursor for Minnesota.
Ooh,
Minnesota is supposedly Giannis. So pay attention to that.
Man. Listen, there's so much going on. I can't wait to talk about it. Don't forget, guys, Friday in the Hoop. Bobby G, you got a message for the people before we get out of here?
I got a question for everybody. I'm surprised. I'm shocked at you, Mr. Witt. You didn't bring this up because this is the real thing everybody cares about. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs is playing. Bad Bunny's performing at halftime. Stephon Diggs is dating Cardi B.
Cardi B.
They do have a song together. It's very, 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 very. It's a bop. It's Cardi B performing at halftime. She gonna be there.
Rihanna performed pregnant. Cardi B performed pregnant? Maybe. I think Cardi B performs. I think she's in there somewhere.
That she won up Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift was there. She didn't do. She
didn't do anything. That's right. I think Cardi B performs. I think she's in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's I think she slides out there. It's in Spanish too. Cardi B, of course, of Puerto Rican descent, definitely will go out there and do it all. I'm telling you, get your phone out, get the translation going, get ready to learn a little bit of Espanol, poquito Espanol, por favor. I know a little bit. All right,
you gotta learn that.
Alan,
nod your head. That's all you got to do.
Sí.
Español, que pase no understand English.
Alan,
me too, Scott. Me too.
Hey, on the way out the door, what you got to say, Alan, man?
Hey, sorry, Whip, but shout out to Pro Bowl MVP George Pickens. Gotta love it. Also, by the way, the NFC on the final play ran a tush push, so that was hilarious.
Of course, tush push is gonna get banned, man. Anyway,
tush push in a flag football game. What would have thought?
Man? So wait a minute. They ran a tush, but ain't no pads, and so
ain't no pads. It's just
it's straight out there.
Right? Yeah, they touch them. Yeah.
Was Eli the coach?
Pretty sure.
Was it the man?
Well, Jalen was quarterback, so that probably tells you why.
Oh, that explains it. That explains it.
The guy who made it popular. All right, so you know what we're doing, man. So remember, it's the RecRoom Sports Crew. Big news. Next month of March, going down, you can catch us on Jacksonville's own ESPN 690. Yeah, we're going to make that official announcement. So if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know that dreams do come true. You got to work hard. You got to keep doing it because if Sam Darnold can make it to the NFL, we could put RecRoom on ESPN 690. All right, y'all, we out in the building, man. So you know what? Big shouts out to everybody who tuned in. All my fam, all my peoples, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We will be back Friday. We're going to be covering the end of the trade deadline, all of the NBA trades. Who sucks? Who's going to still be there? Will Giannis move to another cold space like Milwaukee? No, he will get out of there and go to Utah or Miami. Or where's Ja Morant going? Is he going to go to someplace cool like Memphis? No, he's going to go to someplace really boring like Utah. Who knows what they're going to do? Anyway, we out of the building. Catch us again next week, next Tuesday. Don't forget, lock it in over the weekend. Bobby G is going to have a lot going on, so make sure you lock in with the Audible Sports Podcast. And Alan is going to be a little bit of everywhere. And me, you know what time it is, man. It's your boy K with your mama's number one draft pick. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you this weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend and be safe. Wrap up because it is still cold out here in these streets.